Welcome to the third of these videos, and we're looking at the third page of the GCSE specimen listening example, listening paper even. So this is the start of question 2, and the big difference between what you've seen so far and question 2 is that this time, although you'll still hear 2 excerpts, you're hearing each excerpt twice before you hear the second one. So all of the questions on page 3 for the first half of question 2 are to do with excerpt A. So you'll hear it twice, and again you can optionally tick that box every time you've heard it, just to make sure you know where you are in the paper. So question 2 asks you to tick the correct box. There's only one mark and it says the correct box, so you should be looking for just one tick here to show which of the following rhythms matches the rhythm that is repeated in the excerpt. So again, if it's asking you for which rhythm is being used, you're not looking for an answer here that is to do with the melody, because otherwise they would all just be on one pitch, so you'd be looking for something that's just a constant G. So the way I would approach this question is I'd make sure that in my head I can hear each of these rhythms, and you might want to use drinks names for that. So we can see in this A here, we've got eighth notes followed by quarter notes, so that's going to sound milkshake, tea, tea, tea. Second one, we've got tea, Coca-Cola, tea, because we've got in this one, we've got 16th notes and a half note. Here we've got six quarter notes together and 6 eighth notes together and 1 quarter note, so we're going to have milkshake, 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 tea. And in the last one, it's all quarter notes, so T, 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 T. Remember, it's asking you which is the repeated rhythm here. Which of these rhythms below can you hear repeated in the excerpt? So you're listening out for an ostinato. Once you've heard each of them, using the notation having heard it in your head, and once you've heard it on the CD, simply put a tick in the box, because it asks for a tick. Rather than a cross. I haven't got a tick on my little annotating tool here, so I'm just going to do an arrow and we'll pretend that's a tick, and we'll say it was excerpt A. Right, so that's question 2A. Question 2B is again worth just 1 mark, and it asks you to identify the musical culture that you can hear in this excerpt. So in other words, where has this music come from? And if we look in the mark scheme, we can see that it's Indian music for 2B. So that should have been a nice straightforward thing. To identify Indian music, you're normally listening for quarter tones, which is a note in between a semitone, or you might be hearing things like the Carl rhythm, which you can look up on our YouTube page by searching Fusion, or you might also be hearing instruments such as sitars. So that's the third page of the paper. I would take this as an opportunity to go away and revise rhythm notation. To make sure you understand the word ostinato, I'll just type that on the screen so that you can make sure you spell it properly, ostinato. And I would have a look through the Fusion video on our YouTube page to make sure you're aware of musical cultures. That's it for now. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.